Ugh. Welcome. Fuck. He's gone. He's dead. Oh no. Mr. Bones. He's broken. Welcome to the stream, everybody. Welcome to the stream. It's happening. We're here. We're gonna react to some more Mythos. Mythos. Okay. Maybe we'll play a game later, like Valorant or Valorant. Or Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves is also an option. Or more Outer Wilds. We'll see what happens. Only playing the first two if there's people online who can play them with. Let's be honest here. Okay. Let me do a thing in my Discord. The Discord thing's happening. Oh wait, Twitch follower. All right. My son, live for me. Okay, you know what? Sometimes Mr. Bones falling off is like a charming and like funny bit that happens, and then sometimes I have to put him back on the stand, and it's just, you know, slightly frustrating. Part of me is like, if I secure him properly, then he's not gonna fall off anymore. And another part of me is like, if I secure him properly, he's not gonna fall off anymore, you know? Man, wish I wasn't so stupid. Watching the Spooks live. Bomb you Mythos. Bomb you Mythos. Copy link. Double parentheses. Monument Mythos. Oh yeah, this is the perfect. Yeah, this is the perfect Discord announcement. Man, I'm glad I spent so much time crafting it. I'm sure everybody will love it, and will click from it to my. I should probably automate these. I don't know, man. I don't know what I'm doing. I never have. Y'all already know that I don't know what I'm doing. You know, I feel like this is well known. Y'all understand. Yeah, my Mythos. Looking it up on YouTube. Looking into it. Sorry, y'all. It hasn't even been like a long day or anything. Like, I haven't done shit today. I have no excuse for being this out of it, this tired, you know? So I don't know. Whatever. Let's see. Next up, we got... yes. In Monument Mythos Season 2, Dean Disaster. That's what we got coming up next. Very excited about this one. This one's crazy. This one's not as, like, you know, weird as fucking Suez Canal Crab. If y'all were there to see that, or if you've seen it. But, I don't even know how to fucking describe it. Part of me wants to just be like, let's get right into the news, you know, some of that bullshit, but just looking at it. Okay. I'm gonna mute the Celeste soundtrack, and we're gonna get this thing open. We're gonna get this thing started. Okay, let's commentary. Hey! Someday I'll have my own like channel art and shit in the background here, but for now we're stuck with what we got. Okay. We got Dean Disaster. Y'all ready? I'm ready. This is exciting. Okay. Let's get this shit started. Dean Disaster. Fire. Right off the bat with the flames. The story of America's worst TV hijacking. Wonderful.
During a broadcast of ABC Evening News, anchor Frank Reynolds told viewers to be prepared for tomorrow and that they would witness the start of a glorious adventure. Word spread quickly throughout the country, and civilians invited friends and family to their homes in anticipation of the next day. Although no details of this glorious adventure were known, it was widely presumed to be another exciting TV announcement from President James Dean.
Yeah.
Watching parties were organized in living rooms across America, and on the evening of May 13, 1969, after the ABC Evening News ended, televisions were closely watched with millions of unblinking eyes.
Beautiful.
No one wanted to miss what President Dean had to say.
Oh no!
James Dean's America is hell. But you still don't believe us. You'll hear the truth from James Dean himself.
Oh my god.
Immediately following the broadcast, air raid sirens activated across all 50 states.
Oh, beautiful.
The sirens blared at a far greater volume than usual and burst the eardrums of every civilian within a 4-mile radius. The resulting panic triggered severe overcrowding at bomb shelters and deadly stampedes in the streets.
Wonderful.
Thousands were trampled and hospitals were overwhelmed within the hour. Fires broke out in all major cities, and cars left running in the streets produced lethal amounts of carbon monoxide, which flowed into poorly ventilated bomb shelters and suburban homes. In Washington, D.C., the White House was placed into lockdown immediately after the TV hijacking, and President Dean was rushed to a maximum security underground bunker. Able to hear the anguished screams of civilians in the streets above, Dean refused to stay in the shelter. When carbon monoxide alarms went off in the bunker, he urged his staff to exit the White House with him and shut off the vehicles left on the roadways. With a phone call, Dean mobilized the National Guard to assist with the deactivation of the millions of parked vehicles across America. Several more phone calls to high-ranking military officials and world leaders revealed that no nuclear missiles had in fact been launched. President Dean soon realized that the air raid sirens had been hijacked by a domestic organization and immediately ordered all forces of the military to disable every active siren in the nation. When military technicians arrived at the location of the sirens, they found that the bodies of prior technicians, who had perished from the combination of stress and the siren's sheer volume, piled so high as to have formed a ramp to the top of the speakers.
Some Daisy shit.
The overcrowding of streets by civilians and unaccompanied cars frequently blocked the path of emergency vehicles and prolonged the process of disarming the sirens. Against his advisors' wishes, President Dean tasked himself with the deactivation of an air siren near the White House. Although he would accomplish the task fairly quickly, Dean sustained permanent ear damage and was rendered fully deaf. The sheer volume had also caused countless blood vessels in his body to burst and produce several abdominal hernias. His condition was shared among the millions of other Americans who had been near the sirens at the time of their activation.
It's going to get weirder. It's going to get scarier.
3 hours would pass before all air raid sirens would be fully disabled.
It's not quite as chilling as some of them.
The next morning, at the advice of federal authorities, civilians slowly made their way from the shelters back to their homes. Although some continued to stay in the shelters for fear of radioactive fallout, most accepted the explanation given by military officials over the radio. There is no nuclear holocaust. A domestic terrorist organization hijacked the sirens of America. The streets were littered with bodies and automobiles. The National Guard handed out blindfolds to the young, sick, and elderly as they exited the shelters to prevent the scenes of bloodshed from causing fainting spells and heart attacks. At the Walt Disney Medical Center, physicians examined President Dean and other members of his staff who helped disarm the sirens. All were diagnosed with severe hearing loss. Against his doctor's advice, Dean insisted on issuing a public statement on the traumatic events that had transpired.
Isn't this interesting?
Although he initially wanted to appear on live television, a glance at the mirror discouraged him, as he saw the countless bruises and tears present on his skin due to the intensity of the sirens. In coordination with technicians from the Department of Defense, President Dean instead organized a large-scale radio broadcast, utilizing the very air raid sirens they had disabled. Later that night, a bruised Frank Reynolds would announce on ABC Evening News that Dean would speak through the sirens and that captions would be displayed simultaneously on television for viewers who were hard of hearing.
I'll look at that when we're over, when this is done. Thank God. We got 8 more minutes. That is loud. He will be with you in just a moment. Wonderful. Glad he'll be with me in just a moment. That's whole pace plot.
It's Jimmy speaking.
It's Jimmy!
I'm sorry. Very sorry for what's come to pass. I wish I could bring back your friends, your family. I want to fix everything. This is not the announcement I planned for.
Oh, so the anthem is now the UK anthem? I missed that part. Oh no. Yeah, it's just crazy.
The
They just
Anti-Dean Association.
switch out random things. You know? Why not?
They hijacked our systems.
Did they?
Hurt people. The Anti-Dean Association is an anti-American association. I want you to keep an eye out for them. They will not be hard to find because they are very proud of their silly ideas. Find them and bring them to your local authorities. Make things right. We have places for people like them. This is Jimmy signing off.
You're gonna find things getting not great in a sec. Also, yeah, I never realized that was
Over the next week, hundreds of thousands of anti-Deaners would be apprehended and sent to correctional facilities around the United States. These facilities, meant for the anti-American, were aptly located near or at national monuments in order to symbolize a return to American virtues.
No.
Most would stay for merely a few weeks before being released again. Friends and family of rehabilitated anti-Deaners frequently claimed that they would have improved personalities, no recollection of their past criminal activities, and even slightly altered physical appearances. These methods were so effective in calming the terrorist that many innocent civilians requested themselves to be sent to these facilities in hopes of radically changing their lives. However, federal authorities would deny any admission to those who were not affiliated with the ADA. During one address, President Dean acknowledged the high volume of requests from the public.
How many times are they going to play this thing? I don't... Yeah, he will be with me in just a moment. I don't like that. Stop this. Okay.
Hey,
we're here.
Jimmy again. A lot of you want to be sent to the same places we're sending those anti-Deaners to. I get it. Those who come out of these places, they look clean as a whistle. But if we send you to those places too, then those correctional facilities lose their purpose. If we send everyone to prison, then what's a prison anymore? This is Jimmy signing off.
It's an interesting noise. Have a nice day. Thank you,
On the
and
morning
I will.
of May 22nd, 9 days after the disaster, President Dean
Hey,
received a state-of-the-art
here's
hearing
Maze.
implant from Maze Machines, an up-and-coming tech company.
They're back.
Around noon at the Walt Disney Medical Center, the device was surgically inserted into Dean. The sound quality of the implant and the speedy nature of the surgery inspired Dean to imagine a new government department, which would be able to oversee the mass production and distribution of quality hearing implants to the American public. That evening, President Dean requested an emergency session of Congress and proposed the ambitious project.
He has no face. That guy don't have a face. That guy doesn't have a face. He doesn't have a face. I don't know. I don't have any explanation for it. I don't know what it means. I don't know the context. But he doesn't have a face.
Can't hear a damn thing.
That's all.
Did you hear me? I can't hear a damn thing. Neither can you, or you, or you, or you. It doesn't matter whether you were near the sirens or not. None of you are listening. We need to bring together those technology companies to build and send hearing
And
devices.
catalog crossover, hell yeah.
Hearing
I should watch
devices
that.
that you yourself need.
I've already seen the Mandela catalog, but like going through it on stream could be fun. You know, talking about it with the chat. They say what they interpret it as. I say what I interpret it as. I point out some details. They point out some details. I'm going to go back and look for that teddy bear. Oh. Sorry. I'm gonna look, I had Chipotle earlier. I'm going to go back and look for that teddy bear earlier. Mark my
through a
fucking words.
collaboration with the Department of Health,
That was weird.
we can give back to the people what our failures took away. We can let a mother hear her child laugh again, and let a man hear his dog again. We can give everyone their hearing again. And who's stopping you? Listen to the public. You're all about deadlines too. So here's one. On July 4th, I want every American to hear the fireworks.
Due to a malfunction in his auditory implants, Dean was unable to hear himself and as a result spoke much louder on the Senate floor than on previous occasions. The volume of his speech, which greatly amplified his compassion for the American people, profoundly affected the senators. And in the early hours of May 23, 1969, after 10 hours of discussion, the Department of Technology was approved.
Yeah.
It was the fastest an executive department had ever been established. By May 27th, all persons with hearing loss attributed to the anti-Dean disaster would be eligible for the surgical implantation of a hearing device free of charge. Mass operating rooms would be established throughout the U.S., able to house over 1,000 patients at once. The use of surgical androids was approved on June 6, which increased the number of surgeries performed per day over 250%. Once all victims had been treated,
why it
those
have
with
human
deafness
nose?
unrelated to the disaster also became eligible for the surgery.
Why does it have human nose?
On July
Helen
4th,
Keller can hear
it was
now.
announced that there was no incidence of severe hearing loss in the country. The United States was the first nation in the world to eradicate deafness.
Yeah.
The achievement had been expected for some time since its first mention during Dean's congressional address. In preparation, many health organizations, both domestic and international, had prepared to host banquets for Dean and grant awards to him and his staff. However, President Dean spent the entirety of Independence Day racing cars with close friend Richard Nixon at a local speedway.
Oh, yeah.
Though many would cite the recovery from the anti-Dean disaster as James Dean's finest hour, the president was never willing to accept responsibility.
All we did was fix some ears.
Dean disaster. So this one, obviously, there's some questions. And with this series, you can never really, especially with the Dean ones and with the news, you can never really trust exactly what they're saying. There's no proof that that was the ADA at all, right? Let me go back. Let me see if you were right about that. Hospitaler. Let's look at them doctors.
His condition was shared among the millions of other Americans who had been near the sirens at the time of their activation.
Ooh.
3 hours would pass before all air raid sirens would be fully disabled.
So we're pretty sure it's...
The next morning, at the advice of federal authorities.
Hold up. I think at least I'm pretty sure that it was...
other members of...
That, yeah, that's a guy in a teddy bear head. That's a teddy bear head on a human body. What? And of course there's whatever the hell that thing was. Where is it? After the teddy bear, during... What? There's nothing else about this. I mean, maybe after the point where I'm not caught up or something. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure that isn't the case. So, yeah. We had another sign of, I think this is a similar thing as to what possibly happened with the Suez Canal crab sort of thing, where it feels like this is pushing you towards thinking that it's supposed to be a government like setup type deal, you know? Like they're like, oh, we're going to blame all of the people that are against us for a horrible tragedy and then use that as an excuse to put them all in a big box and then make them slide around and die. They have all of those facilities happen to be next to monuments, which, as we know, have spooky monsters in them. True, it seems super propaganda-y. Yes. And the people who come out are different as far as personality and physical appearance goes, and they have different memories. Does that remind you of anybody? Does that possibly remind you of like Virginia Arnoldson, who, when coming into contact with one of these special trees, which we know is something stored in at least one monument, she suddenly appeared and was physically all weird and fucked up. Her heart was on the opposite side of her body. Then she remembered it, right? Like she had been flipped through a fourth dimension or something. And she had different memories of the world and of her past. And she looked different. She remembered her family differently and she acted different. It all comes together. It's all one big plot. One big, huge plot. It's big, huge, and massive. Endless. Okay. I love this one. We're gonna take a second. Chill. So that was Dean Disaster. I love the Dean ones. I love the James Dean stuff because it's always very subtle. Not very subtle. Pretty subtle. Subtle enough that like it feels like you're actually piecing things together. You know, there's a bit more interpretation there, right? But not so subtle that like when people go, I feel like this isn't being honest. That it's like just, you know, you're supposed to just suspend your disbelief or whatever. I don't fucking know. I'm just saying shit now. Next one we have is Giza Guardian. This is the first one I haven't watched. I have no idea what's about to happen. True, the government is definitely up to something, especially with the hearing chips. But what the fuck? What is that thing? What's that thing's deal? What's it do? Okay. Either way. I don't know what Giza Guardian is. I'm guessing because I'm looking at a picture of the Sphinx and it's called Giza Guardian. that we're gonna be going a bit towards Egypt again. Suez Canal crab is my favorite so far because funny. Yeah, it is kind of funny. My favorite so far is definitely, I mean, Rockefeller tree tragedy, but I'm seeing Rockefeller Revelation coming up, and that looks sick as fuck because it's called a Rockefeller Revelation, and that's cool. And remember, Rockefeller in music is a tout loud. Okay, sorry. Gonna turn it down. Bonk, bonk. Beautiful. Much better. Here. There you go. Thank you, sheep. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, remember, in funny Monument Mythos timeline, Rockefeller was a president. And not an oil tycoon. And I guess also Walt Disney founded a hospital. So there's a big old Walt Disney hospital now instead of a entertainment company. Good on him. I guess. Glad he could do something good. Okay, let's just get on with it. Giza Guardian, baby. Let's get to it. Silence. Weather permitting, we will carry a feed of the Starry Sphinx in Giza on July 4th. I don't know what that is, but it sounds cool. Also, July 4th. That day is significant because it's my dad's birthday. That's the only significant part of the day, July 4th. Stay tuned! Maze News Network. Mezo's the news now? Starry Sphinx caught on camera. Interesting. Huh. Maze News Network. What is that shit? What the fuck? What's it doing? Are those the canyon crowns? Just like all, just neon green canyon crowns, big old human heads floating around? Excuse me? What is happening? What the fuck? I guess the universe has decided to go vaporwave. Some jamming. I like the music though. What is that? Oh, they're arches. Oh, they're like neon special trees. Wonderful. Interesting. Yes! We got more Dr. Disturbing. Oh, Worm? It's cool that the entirety of America celebrates your dad's birthday. Very sweet of them to do that. Thank you, Sheeb.
Throughout the 19th century, English archaeologists in Egypt encountered stories, time and again, of mysterious lightning strikes near the Great Pyramids of Giza. It was reported that the lightning would strike only in the presence of certain rare constellations. However, no one outside of the Bedouin tribes knew of which constellations. The secrecy protected the value of Giza glass, a mineral created by the strange lightning striking the desert sand. The glass also served as a form of black market currency for several tribes. For decades, the Bedouins' knowledge eluded British archaeologists. For as long as the constellations remained unknown,
is that important? That
the Giza glass that formed was retrieved by the Bedouins long before anyone else arrived. However, in the late 1870s, British Egyptologist Flinders Petrie discovered the constellation which preceded the electrical phenomenon. In 1880, he arranged an expedition to collect samples of Giza glass for the British Museum. Petrie...
Sheeb, you're from Europe or wherever. Do you recognize that name? Do you know that? Have you met this British person? You all know each other. I know you do. Every single person in the United Kingdom knows each other. What was the name? Hold up.
However, in the late 1870s, British Egyptologist Flinders Petrie discovered
Flinders Petrie. Is he like a kid? No. What are you up to? What are you doing? Is that your father? Do you know this man?
the constellation which preceded the electrical phenomenon.
Is this like
In
Bizarro
1880,
Flinders
he
Petrie?
arranged an expedition to collect samples of Giza glass for the British Museum. Petrie accurately predicted the appearance of Giza glass, and with the help of British troops, secured the location of the glass for themselves.
Ah, yes. Secured
the glass, which formed in long, multi-layered sheets, was fractured in order to be more easily transported. While collecting fragments, Petrie slipped and landed on an upright plane of Giza glass.
Oh, wow.
The force of the fall, combined with the sharpness of the material, decapitated Petrie immediately.
Oh.
While British troops at the scene quickly assumed Petrie had been killed, a closer inspection revealed that he was still alive.
I only recognize Petrie as the biologist who made petri dishes.
Petrie
Unfortunately,
remained
not
conscious
my long
and could
lost
even mouth
father.
rudimentary words. Medical personnel were initially
Hold up! What the fuck?
alive. Although his head was separated from his body, Petrie remained conscious and could even mouth rudimentary words. Medical personnel were initially relieved Petrie had somehow survived, but they became concerned when his head began to discolor and swell significantly.
Oh?
But the fate of Flinders Petrie is a tale for another
swell,
day.
You say? How significantly?
Lot, as his collection of Giza glass came to be known, arrived
Am I making
England
connections where there are none?
Unfortunately, due to the poor handling of its containers during transit, the glass arrived broken into thin shards and was deemed worthless by museum curators.
Of course it was.
Yet, as a token of international diplomacy,
Petrie
the
was
British
German
Museum
and also
divided Petrie's lot among visiting American ambassadors. Vaguely aware of Giza glass's odd properties, President John D. Rockefeller ordered the immediate confiscation of the material from the American ambassadors. Although many in his administration were eager to see the glass be used in warfare, President Rockefeller refused to authorize military use and instead discussed other possible applications with the head of the Department of the Interior. After numerous conferences, it was settled that segments of Giza glass would be polished into fine blades and given to a select group of Greco-Egyptian swordsmen. These
What? I thought that this series was weird because it was like mixing around historic figures and they were getting up to some weird like historic science fiction bullshit, but you're fucking telling me that they made magic glass swords and they gave them to Greco-Egyptian swordsmen so they could guard the
usually tall swordsmen were assigned to the Grand Canyon.
Guard the Grand Canyon. Flinders Petrie's a real dude, though, and weirdly his head is stored separately to his body IRL. Well, what the fuck do you know? I'm just sometimes I wonder about the horror half of analog horror in this series, you know? Because I love it. Listen, I love it, okay? I'm just saying. You know? They made magic glass swords for Egyptian swordsmen so that they could guard the Grand Canyon
guarded, restricted areas from trespassers.
I want to know more.
Protected under federal law, the Grand Canyon Guardians continued to serve for decades until the last member was
they're
discontinued.
Statues.
All
Of course.
trespassers who were maimed by the Guardians
perfectly
were
reasonable
promised
to
a
me.
lifetime's worth of a special concoction which controlled unwanted side effects.
They make the
However,
canyon crowns.
since the medication's efficacy,
I fucking knew it. When it was like, oh, his head swells. I was like, is it gonna get big? And then when they bring up vinegar, because the canyon crowns all smell like vinegar, I think I know how the canyon crowns are made, and it's by the magic Egyptian swords people in This reminds me of that one guy who was on YouTube talking about the fucking melted buildings theory and how it looks like there were a bunch of Egyptian pyramids in North America, but they got melted because rivers look like lightning from a bird's eye view. Listen, as much as I like conspiracy theories, sometimes they can be a bit much. You know? Conspiracy theories are kind of like modern day mythology, right? It's fun to talk about. But sometimes there's shit like that. Okay? I'm just going to move on with the video
decreased
now.
over time.
Sorry.
Older victims were promised housing within the Grand Canyon to guarantee their safety and privacy from the outside world. But only under the condition that they would lure known dangerous persons wanted by the federal government to the forbidden zones of the national park.
What? The U.S. government claims that Project Giza Guardian was shut down in 1969. However, sightings of swordsmen in the Grand Canyon continue to this day. Sometimes they are, and other times they're gay frogs. Yeah. You know? That's what I'm saying here. Right? Following audio is an excerpt from an interview with Louisa Crawford, wife of the esteemed American sculptor Thomas Crawford. Thomas Crawford is best known for designing the Statue of Freedom atop the U.S. Capitol. Thomas hated America. He went to Rome when he was 21 and stayed there for the rest of his life. He was amused that the slave-holding Americans wanted him to make a statue named Freedom. At first, Thomas did not want to help them, but then he realized that the statue could be a symbol for others. He gave the statue a liberty cap, something that freed Roman slaves wore. He thought that if a 20-foot statue of a liberated woman stood in the Capitol dome, perhaps some men would be less ignorant. You can imagine how disappointed he was when Mr. Davis in Washington told him that he wanted to take the cap off of Freedom. But Thomas saw his project through to the end. He even went to Egypt to find the material for her sword. It is a very special type of glass. Giza glass. One time while he was sharpening the glass at his workshop, he accidentally cut off the tip of his finger. Although I was worried when he told me, he couldn't stop laughing. He told me that the glass was so sharp that the tip of his finger slipped off without pain or blood. Yet he could still feel it. When Thomas concentrated, he could even make his finger twitch on the table. He found it funny. I didn't. I remember he came home one night without a hand. He said he could still move it at the workshop. He was so young when he left. Only 43 years old. I wish we spent more time together. We loved each other very much. You can imagine my surprise when I looked into the plaster model's mouth. Thank goodness that Inspector Zaffino was wrong. He made me think there was a serial killer in town, but nobody murdered him. Thomas cut his own body up and put himself inside of Freedom. I saw him inside, all of him. I knew what must have happened, but seeing his eyes and her face was too much for me. She looked so awake. Zaffino told the Americans that Thomas passed away. I think he has found out the truth since then. The I'm trying to narrate it. in a way that it stays unsettling. And it's very fucking unsettling. And I hate this, which is great and how it should be. And I love it. Sadly, I can't talk. Continuing onwards. The Gibraltar police thought I would be devastated to hear that they found Nina's skin, and I was relieved. I know she's alive. Thomas must have pulled her into the statue with him, inside freedom. Thomas and Nina are protecting America together. Okay, other than the pause, unsettling, not great. She does seem way too chill with all of this. I have nothing to say about it. I don't know. People be crazy sometimes. Okay. Following the broadcast of the controversial Delaware Double, if y'all remember. Also, the talking is good and very ominous. 10 out of 10 narration. Thank you. Thank you, Sheep. If y'all remember, Delaware Double is when some guys found like a clone of George Washington in a river, and then they took him to a hospital, and the hospital didn't talk about him, and then that news the news, the fucking report place got shut down like a week later. So who knows? I don't know. Maybe George Washington has been wearing all of the president's skin this whole time. The Delaware River Journal was shut down by federal authorities. However, a secondary organization, the New Delaware Journal, continued operations. What?
Freedom has a new home. Following the ADA storming of the Capitol on January 6th, numerous organizations expressed interest in purchasing the Statue of Freedom. The statue, which fell during the riot and caused over 150 casualties, was seen by reactionary politicians as a result of poor craftsmanship, and blamed her original installer, Philip Reed, for her collapse. Reed, an experienced architect and enslaved man at the time of Freedom's assembly, this has become the latest in a series of historical figures demonized by the ADA. Due to growing reluctance to reinstall the Statue of Freedom, the Department of the Interior has instead transferred Freedom to an undisclosed location in the Grand Canyon, and rejected all other offers to purchase her. When asked why the statue had been sent to the Grand Canyon, President Dean replied, "The rocks won't shoot her down."
You're right, Mr. Dean. They won't. And there's no other reason. New Delaware journalist Howard Melrose leaked classified file STFR 4.3099 to the public. Melrose now lives in exile in Egypt. Oh, here it is. Attract and extinguish ADA members and other curious persons. Protect maze assets. A map of the Grand Canyon with a picture of freedom. Taylor P. Manning, decapitated. Franklin B. Carr, decapitated. Bonnie Newman, decapitated. Harry F. Caldwell, decapitated. Jimmy and Donna Garner, decapitated. Roy I. Nunez, decapitated. Geoff M. Foster, Sue McGee, Bridget K. Jennings, decapitated. Diana L. Massey, decapitated. Randall Jefferson, decapitated. Maya Arnoldson, decapitated. I fucking knew it. I have nothing else to say. I just fucking knew it. The government got her. They made her into a big floating head. following audio clip, known as The Last Words of Maya Arnoldson, was recovered by park rangers in the Grand Canyon. Holy shit. Viewer discretion is advised. Okay, I don't know how, like, insane this is going to be, but word of warning, I feel like this is going to be a bit, troubling. I also don't know if we've heard of the Jefferson guy before. Maybe. I don't know. I'm sure at least one of those things has come up before. Maya walks on an unmarked trail. Okay. Maya notices something ahead of her.
No, not now. I'm leaving now. I won't bother you.
Maya's body falls into a ravine. Audio cuts out. In 2004, park rangers discovered Maya Arnold's headless body. As of 2021, her head remains missing. Yeah, it's so earlier I was talking about how sometimes I don't feel like this series is scary enough. I was immediately proved wrong. That was fucking terrifying. And whoever voice acted that, actually, who voice acted that? Let's check the credits. Let's check the credits. Who voiced Maya Arnoldson? Film by, music by these people. We got Sunset Warrior and Andrew Wilson. I'll just say the credits. We got Maya Arnoldson is Eliana Gallagher. Everybody. This stream's Emmy goes to Eliana Gallagher for making my bones chill and my teeth chatter. What the fuck? That was sick. That was so cool. Yep, everybody clap. Yay, Eliana. Woo. Thank you. Snaps for poetry. Fuck. Man, have I been missing out on this for the past 10 months? That was good shit. And next up, we have Rockefeller Revelation, which I'm very excited about, right? That more Rockefeller things. I love that. I love this. I am really happy about this show recently. Show? Whatever. I don't know what this is. Thank you. Thank you, Brandon. We need more applause. We need more applause in our lives. Man, I just thought about making an applause emote, and then I remembered that I still have an emote spot open. So maybe I could do that. But then I remembered about the staring emote, and then I remember that I keep on putting shit off. So we're going to try to get through more of this. But there's so many cool things that I want to get to, right? That are named after like plot points that I really love, or like old shit comes back up. Like, we got Rockefeller Revelation, obviously, which has a blimp on it. Starry Sphinx, so we got more of that Egypt storyline. Washington Wonderland, which we have more of Maya Arnoldson's wonderful artwork for the thumbnail. And then Air Force One Fallen Angel, so the whole Air Force One bit from Air Force One Angel, just regular Air Force One Angel, comes back, which is awesome. So in the hopes of getting to some of these, at least at some point during the stream, let's just go straight into Rockefeller Revelation. Nope. And boom, we're here. Oh, God. I write it fucking into it. My dad unexpectedly passed away 3 months ago. I will try my best to continue his work. Dr. Disturbing Dr. Disturbing is the guy. He's the guy from May's Movie Maker. He's Maya Arnoldson's nephew. Yes. Yes. Good. I wonder what Canada's up to in all this. The Rockefeller tapes. I just want to know what Canada's doing. Part 7?
I remember seeing the first German airship in its hangar.
Oh no.
I was astounded by its immensity until I saw my own name printed on its side.
Oh no.
At that moment,
Canada doesn't
an
exist, you're
entirely
right.
new feeling unveiled within me.
Yeah.
It was an
it's
emotion
great.
which
so
frequented
cool.
me in childhood. A blend of revulsion and satisfaction that followed the execution of a cruel jest on a friend or a stranger. A pin in one's foot. A tumble down a stairwell.
Interesting.
What would others think? I thought to myself, at the sight of a foreign airship bearing the name of the American president, dropping explosives upon cities of unarmed civilians. I wish to say that revulsion was my sole reaction.
I'm sorry, doing the fucking, crab rave Obama is gone meme while he's fucking talking about civilian casualties in war was too much for me. I just gotta take a second. Oh, God.
To this invention, yet I cannot deny that I was proud of this magnificent vehicle.
Yeah.
It was perhaps the greatest war machine ever developed by mankind, made possible by yours truly. By nightfall, shame outweighed pride, and I requested the immediate removal of my name from the airship and all its future successors. Although the Germans complied, they continued to refer to their airships as Rockefellers. I knew that removing my name would not obscure the facts for very long. It was inevitable that the American public would one day become aware of my secret dealings in Germany.
Interesting. So Germany is America's ally in the war? I don't know. Maybe this is a big scandal and something happens. Luftschiff Rockefeller 70. Okay, hello. Nose, body, tail. Tail. There's an elevator, a rudder. Oh, I'm glad we're getting a whole on in depth. Just sort of look into how this thing works, you know? Got our envelope. Yeah. Crazy. Oh, scandal would make way more sense. Yeah, secret dealings in Germany, you know, that's what he said. Spindle. It's a blimp, you know, we get it. It's a blimp, right? Interior, okay. Yeah, I know that. Was that a face? I'm sorry. Is that a face? Is that a face?
It had always been my intention to reinvigorate the
That's a
American
guy.
economy.
There's just a guy in
Once
there.
I had been debriefed of the situation in the Grand Canyon, the overpopulation
They're full of
of
crowns.
I
The Egyptian glass Grand Canyon Guardians are all a part of the American... What's the term? Fuck. Military-industrial complex. The whole time. They're selling the decapitated heads of dissenters to the government, which inflate into floating big blobs so that the Germans can put them inside of their blimps. Listen, I've had my fair share of weird world building bits, okay? Look, my D&D campaign is fucked. But how the fuck do you come up with this? Where does this come from? How do you get here? Did you just make all of these random pieces and jam them together in the most insane fucking... God, but it had to be intentional. It makes so much sense.
realized that I was also hearing the beginnings of a solution to the impending economic collapse. That solution being slavery.
And I guess Rockefeller prevented the Great Depression too, so that's
to read on, and I entirely understand. Rest assured, I believe that all citizens should be unconditionally promised the very freedoms that our country established at its founding: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. However, crowns are not men or women, nor are they animals. They are merely the decayed shells of ignoble criminals. They do not qualify for the same freedoms exercised by ordinary civilians. Once they were conditioned and bound together,
oh, so it's not just one, it's like
the perfect workforce.
It's like 50
they
of
did not
them.
rebel, for they could not speak. They could not leave, for they were chained. And best of all, the crowns were incapable of forming unions.
I mean, look, he may be the president, but he's still a Rockefeller. Am I right, boy? Well, yeah, that's very in character. Fuck. What? Anti-airship death? Excuse me. The anti-airship death ray. There's the pedestal to the anti-airship death ray. There's the starting switch of the anti-airship death ray. Plug-in cable to battle box. A lamp. They shoot a lamp. It's a lamp holder. Front elevation. What? What's that? What's that in there? Is that like a skull? Is that a skeleton? Is that a big old fish skull in there? What is that? Looks like a fish skeleton. Or like one of those Rorschach tests, you know? The lens. Ah. Like, what is that?
Germany was the first nation to inquire about the crowns and their potential applications in warfare. I never mentioned the vast quantities of Giza glass we owned, since I knew that it could provide them with many more crowns at low cost. Instead, after signing several agreements and receiving a tremendous German sum, I provided them with over 100 crowns, along with my best advisors and the brightest engineers. Our time with the Germans gave rise to the greatest military vehicles in history, the Rockefellers. Germany's growing demand for men and crowns to construct more Rockefellers revitalized the American economy.
Of course it did.
Very few nations offered to hire as many of our men and women, and none would have paid as graciously as Germans did. It was, by all accounts, the greatest and most sustainable partnership of recent times.
Sustainable energy, that's
I could
good,
not
right?
have foreseen the destruction those airships would eventually inflict to the very nation that provided them.
Oh.
I thought that their creation would unite Germany and America. I could not have predicted that by 1918, Rockefeller bombing raids would have killed thousands of American and European soldiers.
They are,
My terms were over before I could take action against the Germans.
not allies in the war.
It was the administration after my own which was tasked with the seemingly impossible mission of destroying the Rockefellers while preserving the reputation of the former president. Although they knew of my dealings in Germany and had every opportunity to expose me, they chose not to, for in their eyes, no good could come of it. However, I knew it was only a matter of time before I would become the laughingstock of my country. As the war drew to a close, I often found myself in a daze, envisioning my assassination on the streets of New York, or, more likely, on the steps of my very own center.
So in this reality, the America was like
However, it would be
central
years
to World War
before
I.
my
Super
visions
interesting. Yeah,
would acquire
actually, that
any
is fair.
plausibility.
It's very different
President Hughes
from
did a fine job
real world.
of eliminating every Rockefeller while concealing my involvement.
Monument, I mean, it is a very America-centric story. You know, it's all about U.S. monuments and stuff, so, you know. Operation Pyramid Plasma. So there's a pyramid, and there's an airship, and then they take the anti-airship death ray, put it on top of the pyramid. A bunch of soldiers are there on the pyramid. Anti-airship death ray, men, the Great Pyramid. There's a airship, and then they got it.
It is a miracle that only now the news of my involvement in the Great War has become widely known. Thankfully, information on the crowns has continued to stay hidden from the public spotlight. I would much rather have the public believe that Germans were the only persons inside when the airships were shot down and crashed in flames.
My pronouns
with the tragedy
are man.
at the center, and now the airship scandal, known by many as the Rockefeller Revelation. I believe
that's the name of the
my
video.
failures have finally caught up to me.
That's the name of the video.
There are men outside the center who had once been my supporters. Now they want me executed. The policemen have kept the crowds at bay, though I believe that my assassination is, like the Revelation, inevitable. To be elected the president of a country is the greatest honor a people can bestow. But at the moment, I do wish to be the famous oil tycoon that young Virginia Arnoldson believed I was.
Wow.
Forgive me.
Damn. What a life. Effects of operation? Tremendous disintegration. The men divide into microscopic parts. Ambulation. The semi-conscious and unstable remains of the men traverse the desert in an attempt to better understand their condition. What? Stage 3. Amalgamation. The men fuse together into a more stable being. Okay. Sure. Stage 4, migration. S1, the men return to their homeland. Is heaven? Oh, the map. They go west. You just walk through the sea, because of course they do. Retaliation. The men execute a counterattack. Okay. Heading up to DC, and they got mystery flesh bitted. Yes! President, a bunker underneath 30 Rockefeller Plaza. He was never seen again. Investigators found that the door of the bunker had been melted open with possibly the most powerful heat ray ever built. This day, the Rockefeller Foundation considers the president's disappearance as an abduction. Only 2 photos of this potential suspect were ever released. What they look like. I have chills. Genuinely, can you see them? So many chills. What do you mean? What is that? Where'd they go? What the fuck? He's just a nervous system. He's just a nervous system. It's just an energy man. I hate, but I'm so fucking scared of that. Okay. Yeah, it's getting spooky. It's getting spooky. Yeah. Is analog horror. It's got the horror bit. It's got the horror bit in spades. Okay. Celeste soundtrack made me feel better. Thank you, Celeste soundtrack. I really appreciate it. Okay, what? So Rockefeller sold canyon crowns to the Germans to make their airships, and also the Americans had a heat ray to shoot airships down. And then for some reason, at some point, a bunch of U.S. like soldiers, I think, were like disintegrated, and then all combined into one guy, and they went west, and they fucking like strangled him to death. Wait a minute. Hold up. Okay. Theory time. Let me check something. let me check something real quick. Let me just check something out for just a second. So those two photos, we have this photo right here. Now, I feel like I've seen this one. It's 1 a.m. for me. I'm going to have a nightmare about a nervous system man later. Theory time. This photo. What? Have we seen this photo before? I feel like we have. Let's see. I think it was in Washington Wormhole. That's right. Where there's a point, a timeline. First photograph of the special tree. Wait, no. Was it not there? Hold up. Damn it. I was so sure that this first one right here, the first photograph of the special tree is taken in when? Like way before Rockefeller could have even been alive. So it's like, what if it's a time traveling nervous system man, you know? But I don't think that's the case anymore. It's a different picture. So, yeah. Come back to the soundtrack. But that would have been fucked. Also, I guess they just walked across the ocean then. Maybe. Let's go back to Air Force One Angel right quick. With that mysterious guy who's piloting Air Force One. Let's see if... What did they look like? There's like that little bump there and then it disappears. What they look like. They're like... That's not a silhouette. That's not even a silhouette. That's just like a vague outline person. That's after they kill Rockefeller. Because they're like a weird amalgamation person. I guess they don't age, because why the fuck would they? They're like an energy guy. And then Nervous System Man got his pilot's license and is like Mikey. Like, I haven't talked to in a while. I should really talk to Mikey. Whatever. We fly airplanes. And then he, I guess, like, introduced infection. I don't know. I don't know how that works into it. But I think he was the Air Force One Angel. I think I'm gonna start doing a spookiest moments. I'm gonna introduce, because I feel like watching analog horror is now kind of a staple of this stream. I think that's just now one of the big things I do. I play games and I watch analog horror and talk about it. I'm going, for every piece of analog horror, I'm gonna do like a scariest moment when I first got like chills, right? And I think that moment was, I'm deciding right now, what moment was the most like unsettling, what really got me the most. I'm gonna say this second right here, when you first, I'm just gonna move this up to the top. Boom. When you first get the chance to see this weird outline guy right there. And it's like, what is that? You know? What am I even looking at? That is at 14:43 was the scariest moment for me. We're gonna say that. And I think I'm gonna start doing that for everything that I react to as far as horror goes. And we'll see how things stack up as far as the scares go. All right. The next one we have, let's see. All right, I think we're gonna get up. We're gonna do the next two, and then we're gonna be done with the Monument Mythos for the day. And then I think we only have, 3 more after that, before we're done with the Monument Mythos. So, pretty exciting. We get Air Force One Fallen Angel, so maybe that'll confirm my theory. Or do the opposite. That's kind of the point of a theory. Is that, you know, it goes one way or the other. Okay. Let's just get started on Starry Sphinx. And related phenomena. Video number 1. TFMD on Mars. Mars? We're getting Mars. Getting some Mars action. I'm excited. What the... Wait. What the fuck is that? Are there aliens? Audio number 1, excerpts from recovered from an arson scene. Well, are there aliens on Mars? You can't fucking open this shit up with the Starry Sphinx and related phenomena and then show us a video with there's just a thing. And then they don't even elaborate. They're not like, oh, this thing is X, or say anything or what it could be. It's just a thing on Mars. Okay. Moving on. Mars worm. Thank you, sheep. Alright. What else do we got here? Come on. Hit me with it. Excerpts from an interview recovered from an arson scene. Unrestored. Wonderful. Leonard W. Moreland, former senior advisor.
They have every right to be upset when we went ahead with it anyway. This is a their system worked for thousands of years and will continue to protect the country.
This sounds terrible.
At the time, the president and our military did not care.
What the fuck?
The solution is a problem and just in need of a better solution. American solution. Which in this case was excavation.
Come on, man. I could buy a decent mic for like $50, and you're the senior advisor or whatever. You can totally afford to get better audio equipment. TFMD leaves Mars? The UFO is coming to Earth? What does TFMD stand for? Look at the Mars worm exiting orbit. It's huge. Fuck.
Once the pyramids were classified as TFMDs by the U.S.
Oh, true forces of mass destruction. And I guess the pyramids are one. Interpret that how you want to. And then they get excavated, because of course they do.
TFMDs have been acknowledged by UN Security Council as the single most dangerous threat to humanity. Of course, this was before climate change and mankind was classified as TFMDs under the new administration.
That fuck's moving, dang. That fuck's moving, dang. And I guess climate change and people are TFMDs too. Thanks, President James Dean.
At the time, the members of the pyramids required immediate action.
I guess they didn't mean much anymore. TFMD enters Earth's atmosphere. Is that what I think it is? I don't want to say anything. I don't want to say anything. That looks like a sphinx. That looks like there was a sphinx on Mars, and it flew into space, and it's going into Earth. Oh God, I think I was right. Okay. It's a fucking sphinx that was on Mars and is flying to Earth. Okay.
With some years of their lives
Yeah, now the Guardians are in the Grand Canyon killing fucking... Okay. No! Stop the virtual camera. I don't want to start the virtual camera, OBS. Okay.
The goal was not to cut down any trees, of course. That wouldn't be possible until 1945. Rather, the intention was to shift the tree's focus from upward growth to internal repairs. The ancient Egyptians knew that they could not permanently halt the tree's germination. But by prolonging their growth, the Egyptians bought themselves time to build enormous towers that would better contain the trees.
Oh, he doesn't just mean regular trees. Doesn't just mean normal trees, does he? We're talking about something very different. TFMD is attacked. Very different sorts of trees. And I guess they grow. Wonderful. What is going on? That's a big crosshair. Hello?
Within the first week of excavation, we found the pyramids extending much deeper into the sand than we had previously thought.
Oh,
The
wonderful.
more we dug, the more bricks we had found had already been laid. At the time, we had convinced ourselves that the pyramids had to be single structures. It would only be a matter of time before we would reach the bottom. By the third week, we realized that we had been wrong the whole time. The pyramids extend down excellently. You can imagine our reluctance to tell the public that the pyramids were not pyramids at all. They were towers, infinite towers, all three of them. Towers which contain enormous species of metaphysical flora. Who knew that the
What?
pyramids are merely the tips of buildings?
What? What the fuck? TFMD's False Children Land? Green. Green. From Giza Guardian. Green light. I remember you. False shot. There goes the Sphinx. Oh, false children organizing the Star Sphinx, and then, you know, the thing gets recorded and from Giza Guardian. There we go. Star Sphinx distracts observers as mothership flees. Video affected by radiation. Mothership? It's aliens? I don't want to have to think about it as aliens. Please don't say it's aliens. I don't like thinking about it as aliens. It is a space sphinx, though. That's a sphinx from Mars. It's a Mars sphinx. Great pyramids rise. Okay. Okay. They're going up. The other pyramids awaken. Great. All of the pyramids are actually just the tips of obelisks. That's so sick. Oh. There's a lot of them. That's a lot of pyramids. That's a lot of pyramids. Oh no. Diagram number 1. Present situation. Okay. Sphinx pyramids. Cool. I want to know what's happening. Wow. Produced by the Anti-Device Association. Oh. Star Sphinx is remember? What the fuck is going on in Egypt? What they up to? That fuck's moving. Dang. Okay, here's what we learned. There was a Sphinx on Mars. The 80 are for sure the good guys now. Like, that's definitely... Yeah. And, like, they changed their name, I guess, after Dean left. So they went from the Anti-Dean Association to the Anti-Device Association. Which is interesting. I wonder if maybe they're against certain devices. Like, the Twitter machines. Maybe also, like, the earpieces. Maybe there's something with those. I don't know. Maybe that'll come up later. But, oh, fucking crazy. I don't even know, man. Oh, okay. And I guess there's just a shit ton of them. And the Egyptians could do magic space stuff to make their pyramids go forever. Okay, let's watch Washington Wonderland. Bonk. We're gonna get more... I don't know. Listen, all I know is that on the cover it had more Virginia Arnoldson art. So... Okay. Oh no! After an unsuccessful lobotomy, Virginia Fate Arnoldson provided a more complete account of the Rockefeller Tree tragedy. Oh no! This is her account.
When I was little, something went wrong with me. And everything switched. Even my parents. My new ones did not like me, so they left me. My foster parents did not like me either. So, I was left at an orphanage. Some of my friends were better off, but many were left at the orphanage too.
Interesting.
We loved each other.
No Virginia.
Until we were 18, then we were separated. The military took the boys, and the doctors took the girls.
Aw, that
they
sucks.
Probably do not remember the tree anymore.
The tree?
Soon, I will not remember either. But
oh?
I hope you will remember. Remember for me?
Huh.
When the tree changed me, I was not scared. At first, I did not know what was wrong with me. When my eyes adjusted, I was in a field of special trees. I was reminded of a story my mom told me.
Huh.
Alice in Wonderland.
Oh,
this was my Wonderland.
Washington Wonderland.
I held myself close and looked up.
Okay.
The trees looked like they ended, but above them there were upside down trees, and above those there were upright trees, like they were being reflected forever. The pattern repeated for as far as I could see. I looked down, and I thought I was on solid ground, but when I looked more closely, I was sitting on a thin, floating layer of dust. It smelled like baby powder. And through the dust, I could see the start of another tree. And below that one, there was another and another, an infinity of trees.
Huh.
While I played with the dust, I heard distant footsteps. They grew louder and louder. Then there were bright flashes of light all around me. Out from these lights, hundreds of people ran out.
Whoa.
One man came up to me and whispered, "The trees are not the trees." He had such sad, tired eyes. As he picked me up and put me on his shoulders, he said, "You could be her. Anyone could be her. I promise I will not leave you."
What the fuck?
There was a bright flash, and we were in another field. He was sitting in front of me with his hand out. Another flash, and we were both running past through the woods. Another
What?
flash, and we were both lying on the ground, looking at infinity. Every few seconds there was a flash, and we would be doing something else. Again, and again,
Yeah, I got.
and again.
That's how they're connected.
Over and over and over. It would not stop. It felt like forever. Years of flashes. I was so angry at first. But soon I had those sad, tired eyes of his too. We were so sad and tired. Every now and then we would flash to another layer of dust. Above or below, who knows? But we would always see the climbers. I think there were people who tried to climb the trees while they were flashed around. They were stretched and burnt. Maybe the dust was the people that fell. The man was always with me. He kept me safe the whole time. It must have been years. It felt like 500 years. I named him Everett.
What is?
He was always there. He never left me.
All the people from the monument, I think. The golem.
Then on one random day.
Yeah.
No time.
Or just all the monuments in general, right?
Time. All the trees bent, and a flash brought me back to New York. All my friends were around me.
Yeah.
But this was another New York.
I think that's what the hundreds of people were.
I did something wrong, and I lost Everett. I ruined everything. I should have stayed home that night. Why did I not stay home? I lost everything. For me and my friends, I ruined their lives. I will not tell you about the orphanage. It was a hard time. I will keep memories of the orphanage to myself. They do not matter to you. When I was 18, I left the orphanage. I looked for my new parents. They were not together anymore. My new pa died from a broken heart, and my new ma lived all by herself. She did not let anyone into her house anymore. All because of me.
God.
I wanted my old parents back. I went to the Rockefeller Center for an answer. The tree stood at the top of the plaza, above everyone else.
What?
I was never supposed to visit again, but I did, and I spoke to her. At first, I could not understand her. Her voice was like a breeze behind my eyes.
What is happening?
And I could not move.
This is real sad.
But soon I could understand. She said that I had to be ready to exchange one life for my own. She understood that I wanted to go back home, to my New York. She said, "Come back in 3 years." And I did. I waited. 1,000 95 days. I returned 3 years later.
What is
At
happening?
first, I could not understand her. Her voice was like a breeze behind my eyes. It was cold, and I could not move. But eventually, I could understand. She said that I had to be ready to exchange one life for my own.
Is it?
She understood that I wanted to go back home, to my New York.
Yeah, we already did.
She said, come
This is
back
the
in 3 years.
Yeah,
And I
we've
did.
done.
I waited.
Is it?
1,095
Yeah, but this is like
days.
exact.
I returned 3 years later. At first, I could not understand her. Her voice was like a breeze behind my eyes.
These are
It was
different
cold,
visuals.
and I could not move. But eventually, I could understand.
I think.
She said that I had to be ready to exchange one life for my own. She understood that I wanted to go back home, to my New York.
What the
She
fuck?
said,
Okay.
come back in 3 years.
Yeah.
And I did.
Okay.
I waited 1,095 days.
Wow.
While I waited,
There you go.
I met a man. He was a very important man, a secret agent.
Oh?
He followed me everywhere.
Hmm.
One day, I found him waiting inside my house. He
Is
told
the
me that
guy.
he was here to monitor me. No, to watch and protect me. But he had fallen in love with me.
Oh no.
No one else liked me.
Oh.
So we took each other.
Oh.
We grew close. Leonard loved me. I loved him too. Together, we had a baby boy.
Oh no.
I named him Everett. Little Everett was inside for 9 months when I saw the tree again.
Oh wow.
She put directions in my head. I followed those directions. I walked for 4 days. I had to.
Huh.
I wanted to go home so badly.
This is fucking crazy.
But I became so happy when I could hear the music. It was like the tree's voice, but warm. The Washington Monument looked much bigger in person.
Oh, of course.
Its door went up high, like it was for something much bigger.
At a door?
Then I went inside. There were bodies everywhere. The breeze told me to relax. I went on the elevator. It went up. All the way up. It stopped at the top, and the music blared. It was so loud I could not move. The floor opened, and I fell all the way down. I felt myself hit the ground. Then I kept drifting down, past the ground, past rock, sand, and magma, through the layers of earth. It must have been years. It felt like 500 years.
You from the monument, you're right.
When I reached the other side.
You're right.
And I felt myself rising through all the layers of earth, past the magma, sand, and rock, past the ground, back into a body. Another body. Almost the same body. And flattened, like a little red pancake. But I felt so empty. My belly had sunk.
What the fuck?
Little Everett was not with me anymore. Many others laid around me, broken like me, almost alive and completely still. But little Everett was nowhere. While everyone else exchanged for their own lives, themselves, I must have exchanged little Everett for mine. I cried. I cried for years. Went blood into the ground for years. Why did the tree keep us alive? Did they like pain? Did they drink our blood? Was there any reason for any of it? I lost little Everett. He had no say. He did not even say his first word. I ruined his life from the start. Maybe he lives in Wonderland. I hope he lives in Wonderland. One day, one random day, the music grew, and there was the brightest flash.
Mm-hmm.
We found ourselves outside, at the base of the tower. The tree had been freed, and we were in a field of trees.
Oh.
Wonderland had risen, but little Everett was still missing.
Mm-hmm.
We were all lifted out in helicopters. I was at the hospital faster than ever before. They told me it was 2003. They told me everything I knew was wrong. They told me everyone I knew was dead. And now they plan to fix me. I'm sorry, Pa. I'm sorry, Ma. I'm sorry, friends. I'm sorry, Leonard. I'm sorry, Everett. Please remember me. Please, please remember me.
After a second lobotomy, Virginia never spoke again. Late in her life, she produced a series of paintings titled The Right Life. Ma, Pa, my friends and I, Leonard and I, Everett and I. Together. Virginia passed away in 1980 at the age of 59. Her son Everett is believed to be the 20th Washington absentee. Remember when I was like, hey, what if the energy guy is a time traveling energy guy? That suddenly sounds a lot less far-fetched than I thought at first, because I think she'd be time traveling. unless an even worse idea. When she got out of the Washington Monument, they lied to her about what year it was, and then they lobotomized her twice. I think that's worse than time travel, personally. But that's what's going on in my head right now. I was very silent for a lot of that because I don't even know what do Hold up. Here, we're playing the Celeste soundtrack again. That is gonna be it for the Monument Mythos today, and I think it for the stream. So that was fun. Sheeb, you gotta start streaming at some point. It's been like a week. I stream again. I have time. Summer's coming up. I'll be able to watch things. I don't have things after school anymore. Come on. I haven't seen a Sheeb stream in forever. Anyways, oh fuck. We're here. That is what happened. I don't even know. Oh, spookiest moment. Yes, the new thing that I'm doing now. What moment made me shiver and shake and quiver and quake the most? There were a lot of what the fucks, you know, with the trees and with Everett. Oh, it had to be fucking, it kept us alive. Why did it keep us alive? Does it drink our blood or whatever?
So Everett was one of the brightest out into the ground.
And we all bled into the ground for years.
Why did the tree
keep us alive? Did they like pain? Did they drink our blood? I think that has to be at, again, what is this? 12:39. I cried. We all bled into the ground for years. 12:28. Fucking.
Into the ground.
Don't worry, there haven't been Sheep streams to miss. That's definitely something that I'm so happy about, Sheep. Thank you so much. Okay, wow. I feel damaged. Okay. Well, all the artwork is amazing. It's like really hot. Yes. Fuck. It's all great. It's all spooky. Okay? I'm thinking about somebody sending me messages on my phone. Disgusting. Okay. Sorry. I got distracted. I was gonna end the stream. There we go. Okay. Thank you all so very much for watching. Hope you have a wonderful night, and just keep doing you. Bye.